Hello, fifth grade. It's Mr. Reynolds again. I'm here to share something completely different with you today. Some of you are getting to learn ukulele this year or maybe in the past. And so thank you very much for checking out a video that's going to eventually be about ukulele. But the main thing I'm going to start with is not ukulele, but a famous band that really changed how music was enjoyed and how the whole music industry was changed. So in the 1960s to the 1970s, there was a group of 4 guys who started a band, and for 10 years they just did so much to change the way popular music worked and was used and integrated into films and music and radio and television and everything. And that group is called the Beatles. And I'm going to be sharing with you today a couple of things, and we're going to end up at ukulele and also a really fun version that's just, I think you'll just enjoy it. It's very cute. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to share with you a little video that talks about the Beatles and where they came from and who they are, and it's just about 3 minutes. And so just relax and enjoy this video. Nothing to memorize or anything, but just I think it's really great to know about this. Now, a few of you might know about the Beatles, and I know one of the students in 5th grade right now is named after one of these guys. So let's check this out. Now, I'm going to be sharing this screen with you, and this is a video that I have prepared for you guys to enjoy. I hope the sound is good, and just relax and enjoy this.
The Beatles in a nutshell. The Beatles were an extraordinary rock band from Liverpool, England, that wrote and performed extremely popular music from 1960 to 1970 and still influence musicians and culture today. They sold more records worldwide than any other band. But why were John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison and Ringo Starr so successful and influential? Because of their talent, practice, personality, innovation and timing, and probably their iconic mop-top hairstyle. When Lennon and McCartney first started playing with Stuart Sutcliffe, Pete Best and George Harrison, the two singer-songwriters' talents already showed. Several years of playing clubs in Liverpool and Hamburg, Germany, honed their skills. They started experimenting, and their music rooted in skiffle and rock and roll evolved into beat. That's how they got their name. By the time the Beatles recorded their first single, Sutcliffe had died and Best was replaced by Ringo Starr. The Beatles became the funny, attractive and charming Fab Four we know. Finally, they also had perfect timing. The post-war generation wanted to rebel against their parents' authoritative culture. The Beatles, with their untraditional aspirations and style, were exactly what the kids had been looking for. Youth culture was born. With little competition from other bands, the fan base and enthusiasm grew into the famous Beatlemania. Via the new mass media, the Beatles were suddenly everywhere and helmed the British invasion into America, followed by other British bands like the Rolling Stones. Through the success in the US, Beatlemania rolled across the globe. The Fab Four stayed on top during the rest of the decade by experimenting with songwriting, recording, and their visual style. By moving from sweet pop to avant-garde rock, they always kept reinventing themselves and stayed on the cutting edge. The Beatles had dozens of #1 hits like Hey Jude and A Hard Day's Night. They recorded 12 core albums, including Abbey Road and Let It Be. Additionally, the band made 5 feature films, received 10 Grammy Awards, and even an Oscar. But in 1970, the Beatles broke up, and all 4 members pursued their individual musical careers, often collaborating with one another. Then, only 10 years later, John Lennon was shot. In 2001, George Harrison died of cancer. The Beatles changed the music business forever by writing their own music, recording comprehensive albums instead of just individual songs, by introducing music videos and playing large-scale live concerts.
Well, this has been great to just get a little taste for who the Beatles were and where they came from and what time period we're talking about, because that's a long time ago. But wow, they really did influence popular music in America and around the world. Now, and when I say in America, remember these guys are from England, so that invasion was a musical invasion into America, where not only the Beatles, but also the Rolling Stones, and then Elton John, and so many other people from around. Okay, I had to pause. I hope everything's okay. They were making announcements over the speaker here at school. All right, now, so we know about the Beatles a little bit. We learned about where they came from and how they influenced popular music. They just were the first band to really just become so popular that people wanted anything that they touched or did or whatever. It just got crazy. It was called Beatlemania, and so that was just a crazy time. And it was before I was, old enough to know, but definitely something that was important in our culture. Now, let's. As you saw in that little cartoon thing, a couple of the guys passed away. John Lennon shot in 1980. I remember that. I was old enough. And then in 2001, George Harrison died of cancer. So did I say that right? Yeah, George Harrison. And so Paul McCartney is still around. Now, he has had an amazing career as a musician, but I'm going to play for you a video from about 5 years ago where he's being interviewed on a radio program and podcast kind of thing. And he's going to talk about one particular song. And the song is called Obla Di, Obla Da. Now, Obla Di and Obla Da doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just a fun thing to say. And he's going to tell where he got those words, because that's kind of interesting. And then I'm going to also, after that, we'll actually hear the real song. So let's jump away to the Paul McCartney talking and being interviewed about this particular song.
John didn't like this song, Obla Di, Obla Da. Am I correct?
Who says?
You were on vacation.
No, John did like that song.
He liked it.
I think so, yeah. I mean, we went on vacation, but we were in Rishikesh studying meditation with Maharishi.
Yes.
And we used to go to the clubs late at night, drink, dance, maybe a little food. And there was a friend of mine who I befriended in the clubs. He was an African guy. He was called Jimmy Scott. And, we would jive together, just, hey, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he used to say, Obla Di, Obla Da, life goes on, brah. Yeah, man, man, and I just loved this. And I would go, Obla Di, Jimmy, And he had a few other sayings. Nothing's too much, just out of sight.
Right.
So I loved all these little sayings. So I wrote the song in...
Lyrics first or music first?
Together.
Together?
Yeah. Which is kind of often how it happens. You just got some chords and you make a song up. And one thing I always love about the intro there, that piano intro.
So fast, too. It's like...
Well, what happened was me, George, and Ringo were kind of slaving over this.
Right.
And John wasn't there yet. John, he was late.
Yes.
Again.
Aha. Well, he's busy.
Come on.
God knows what.
So we're not getting anywhere with it. Chinga, 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 chinga. It was thinking, oh, God, it's not happening. And John comes in to the studio. He says, what are you doing? What's happening?
What are we working on?
What are we working on? I say, Obla Di. He goes, oh, that one. He goes over to the piano. He goes, all right, what key are you in? I say, A. He goes, dun, 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 dun.
Just like that.
And we all fall in behind him and go, yes.
Because that's
what
the
it
beauty.
needed, that.
Ding, 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 ding. And isn't that great when someone comes in with a fresh set of ears and just goes, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a
really
story.
A great little memory, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really cool, isn't it? It's fun to always hear about how these songs got created, and maybe the guys who were writing it were stuck. Somebody comes in with a new idea. That's a really great interview. And you can, by the way, that was just a couple years ago, 2018. So Paul McCartney's still out there healthy, older guy doing great, still writing songs and having a career and a life. And obviously he's a super influence. Now, so this song, you kind of know where that Obla Di came from. Now I'm going to play for you the actual song. And this is a version that I found that has English and Spanish subtitles. And of course it's in English, but you'll see that there's a story going on. It's a very simple story. There's a guy named Desmond, and he sees a girl with a pretty face named Molly. And then we're not going to listen to the whole song, but if we did, they get married, they have kids. It's a really kind of just a fun little silly story, and it's really happy. And of course, it's just such a catchy tune and so well written. So let's go ahead and jump over to the song and listen to that. And I'm just going to play about the first minute and a half for you, so you can kind of get the idea of where this song comes from the Beatles. And this is not a video, just some pictures of the Beatles from the 60s and 70s. Yeah, isn't that great? I just think that's a lot of fun. What a fun and silly song. By the way, Molly never says anything. She's the one who always just goes, and then she said, "Oh, blood, oh, blood, all life goes on." So that's just the chorus. Really neat song. Now, I mentioned ukulele at the beginning of this for 5th grade. So some of the 5th graders, those up at Jesse Hall, are getting to learn ukulele. I'm hoping later in the year we'll get to do that here at Spanish Springs Elementary too. By the way, wearing my Spanish Spring shirts today. Don't be mad at me, Jesse Hall. I haven't got a shirt from there yet. I think I will. And but this next video I'm going to share for you is about ukulele, and it's a small boy playing and singing Obla-di, Obla-da, and playing the ukulele. Now, I think this kid, I always think of him as being maybe 3. I'm not sure. I hope this is, am I sharing the right screen? I hope this is sharing. Let me double check the share. Let me try that again. Make sure I'm sharing the screen. Media player, share screen. Okay, it should be working. Okay, so yeah, there it is. Now it's got a green box around. I think it's working now. So this little boy, look how serious he is. He's got his eyes closed. You're gonna love this. This kid is tiny, and he's obviously singing on a stage somewhere, and he doesn't know all the words, but he's just having a blast. And now those of you that are learning ukulele or have played before, you'll be able to see C, G7, F, and maybe a couple chords you haven't learned yet. But let's just enjoy this. This is hilarious and fun. It's okay to snicker and laugh. We're not laughing at this boy, just having a good time. It's lots of fun. Here we go. All right, and he actually goes on and does the B section in the middle where it's in a minor key and stuff. We didn't get to that in either of our things today. But hey, listen, I hope you're having a great day. It is, let's see, it's Friday, October 2nd. This is a video, you can watch it anytime, and I hope you enjoy learning a little bit about the Beatles seeing Paul McCartney, who's still out and about doing his thing after all these years, older guy, doing great, wonderful musician, talented, super talented. By the way, he's the bass player and one of the lead singers. And then this fun little kid. What a great time. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you later. Got to run. I'm doing other Zoom classes today. I'll see y'all. Bye-bye.